Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. New rules come into force today at Hunter High Schools, preventing students from having mobile phones in the classroom. Public high schools will require students to hand over their devices before classes begin today. The initiative is aimed at addressing bullying and distraction, with individual schools being given some flexibility in the way the ban is implemented. But digital behaviour and lifestyle expert Dr. Joanne Orlando says the effects aren't always positive.
Everyone's pretty positive at the beginning of the ban, but we find over time that the novelty wears off and it can lead to quite a bit of tension in schools where students are resisting handing in their phone or handing in a fake phone, and it can lead to kind of a deterioration between teachers and students.
Transport for New South Wales says heavy traffic is expected on the New England Highway at Taro for at least 2 weeks. Urgent repair work is being undertaken on the Taro rail bridge, with one lane closed in each direction, leading to heavy traffic, especially during peak periods. A reduced 60 km/h speed limit will also remain in place while the work is carried out. Agriculture Minister Tara Moriarty is planning a visit to the Upper Hunter this month following urgent requests from the local council to see firsthand the impact of drought on the area. Currently, most of the Upper Hunter is deemed drought affected, but not in drought. It's a different story in Newcastle and Lake Macquarie, which were drought declared last week. Upper Hunter Shire Deputy Mayor James Burns says the declaration needs to be made now to allow farmers to access vital subsidies. Activist group Rising Tide will hold a forum at Newcastle's Town Hall tonight to discuss what they call a climate emergency. The organisation is set to hold a blockade event later this year, which is expected to halt operations in the Port of Newcastle. Organiser Alexa Stewart says the Hunter's renewable energy transition will be discussed at tonight's event.
I think there is so much broad-based community support for stronger action on climate change, demanding that our governments really support the transition so that we can ensure that workers are supported.
Lake Macquarie MP Greg Piper says the community needs to have a say on the future of the Morisset Hospital site. The Minns government has announced plans to move mental health patients at the Lake Macquarie site to new and expanded facilities at Maitland Hospital. Greg Piper says while he supports the initiative, the community needs to be involved in the future use of the historic Morisset site. He says a heritage review also needs to be undertaken. The end is in sight for thousands of HSC students in the Hunter, with final examinations commencing on Wednesday. Local academics are reminding students to continue healthy habits, giving them the best shot at their exams. Professor David Lubins from the University of Newcastle says regular and consistent sleep plays an important part in effective performance.
If you're not getting an adequate amount of sleep, your brain just doesn't function. And there's been fascinating studies showing that kind of lack of sleep is very similar to the effects of the brain as being drunk. It's not something that you want to do when you're trying to get the most out of your brain and perform well in the HSC.
2NURFM Sport.
Jets Executive Chairman Shane Matisky believes the time is right for the club to move into a more permanent ownership structure. It comes with the club set to start its third straight season under temporary ownership. Meanwhile, Maitland NPL striker Braden Crowley has taken out the competition's top honour for the second consecutive year, named the Men's Player of the Year. With 28 goals, Crowley was also awarded as the Golden Boot winner. Rumours have emerged suggesting West Tigers are planning to make Knights centre Brabham Best an offer which would make him one of the highest paid centres in the game. The Knights remain confident they can convince the 22-year-old who is contracted until the end of 2024 to extend his contract. Best bagged 13 tries last campaign, having made his debut in the NRL when he was 18. And Merriweather grabbed a bonus point from their win over Toronto in Newcastle's district cricket competition. Stockton took out a 36-run victory over Hamwicks in their match. That's sport. I'm Jordan Regnis.
And the winning numbers in Weekend Lotto are 18, 23, 25, 28, 35 and 37, and the supplementaries are 8 and 16. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.